Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Allison Jacobson, and this is Chronicles of a Caregiver. It's Friday. Yay! It's raining, but at least it's warmer now because getting out in -5 degree weather the way it was last weekend was impossible for Greg with a wheelchair. It was just ridiculous. So at least we're able to get out. And in fact, last night we went out to dinner. Now, for those of you who don't live with somebody with a disability, you might think this is no big deal. But for somebody who's in a power chair, you have to think about everything before you leave the house, such as, okay, do they have accessibility in the first place? But if they do, is their bathroom accessible? It's amazing how many people say to me, well, it's a public place, it has to be accessible. Not necessarily true. And here's the other problem. There's not an ADA police. So when something's not accessible, unless somebody reports it, nothing gets done. And so I often feel like I'm this squeaky wheel complaining about everybody and I'm being the ADA police myself, but everybody has a right to go out to where they'd like to. So first of all, I want to give a shout out to Barn Door in Ridgefield, Connecticut. They are, first of all, the nicest people, the nicest staff, the best food. And also, they are so amazing when anybody comes in with a disability. They make sure we have a place to sit. Everybody moves out of the way. They're so accommodating. And last night, somebody with a wheelchair was coming in right in front of us. We look like a little parade with wheelchairs. So what I would say is start looking around at the places you visit, because look, it's not just somebody in a wheelchair. Think about moms with twins with a double stroller. How are they supposed to get in and out of bathrooms and maneuver between tight tables? And think about elderly people who are just maybe having a hard time walking. So disability and accessibility isn't just for somebody in a wheelchair or someone whose vision is impaired. It's for all of us, and it makes sense. So that's my little thing about accessibility at restaurants. This morning I was talking to a friend of mine who is caring for her mom who has cancer. And as a caregiver, she made a really good point and phrase, and I had to bring it up. She said, being a caregiver is like being on a lonely, isolated, crowded island. And I think we all know what she means when we're caring for our aging parents. It's lonely out there. We are sometimes confined to being inside or confined to being by their side because we can't go anywhere. But there's so many of us, right? Everywhere we look, there are people caring for their aging parents. And it's if anything, it's going to become more so. So I'm encouraging us again, let's make this channel a place where we're not lonely anymore. Let's make this a community of caregivers where we can share our stories and bitch and complain and cry and have people that understand what we're going through, because it's not easy being a caregiver. And sometimes we feel guilty, right? We're not the person with the disability. We're not the person with the illness. So how dare we complain about how hard it is for a caregiver? Guess what? It's hard. It's hard for all of us. So let's come together, subscribe to my channel, and let's start a caring community of caregivers. So that's it for now. Tomorrow I'll be talking and I'll be in my Patriots gear because, yep, it is playoff time and we are huge Patriots fans.